Yo, what is good? You're listening to Everyday Superpower, where we talk body language, human communications as a whole, attraction, repulsion, dating, everything in between, okay? Two links are down in the video description. One links to my catalogue of body language as to where I've compiled a playlist of my own material that will give you the answers of reading somebody at face value, reading their mind, alright? Top to bottom, A to B. I've got all of the subconscious behaviours the human will manifest. Next to that, there's a link to the Patreon. On my Patreon, you'll join me in watching real dates, as to which we will assess, observe and analyse the communications between the two. You'll learn about attraction signs, repulsion signs, and that information will stick with you forever, assured. Now, topic of conversation. You don't necessarily need to fulfill a certain criteria to be generally attractive, okay? Every extreme might be a strong word, but I'm not talking about middle of the road normal. Every external factor, every extremity of personality and character can be very attractive. And what I mean by that is you can be very masculine and be attractive to very feminine people as a counterbalance. Or you could be very feminine and still be attractive to both feminine and masculine women. It does not necessarily matter. Then we reapply that and say you can be silent and mysterious and be incredibly attractive to a specific kind of woman who's into that. Or you can be loud and boisterous and be incredibly attractive to whomever is into that. You need to understand there's no A to B to C. If you are honest with yourself and highlight and accentuate parts of your character which highlight you in a positive and interesting manner, you don't have to pretend to be anybody else. You're a grungy, dirty skater dude. Women love that. Or you're a polished, pristine, designer clothes wearing, clean cut guy. Women love that as well. Each and every one of these polar opposites are just as useful and effective when it comes to attracting women. And there will, even though they can be so far apart, they can still have an incredible crossover as far as the markets of women they appeal to. Because if you're shamelessly being yourself and highlighting your true character in an honest fashion, that's something not a lot of people do. A lot of people reserve their character and who they are and blend in. And there's nothing wrong with blending in, it has its merits. But if you want to garner attention and attraction, it starts with the eyes, right? And if you're not being acknowledged, you don't exist. So there's no right and wrong. Or there is a right and wrong. There's a black and white. There's a yes and no. There's a top and bottom. There's a north and south and east and west. But each one of these positions are as attractive as the other. Now, don't get me wrong. There will be particular women who aren't necessarily interested in the particular extreme you portray. That's completely fine. You will not go out there and appeal to every single woman. Every different person on planet Earth has their own background, has their own upbringing, has their own childhood, has their own life experience. You're not going to be able to tick the boxes of everyone on planet Earth. That's just not the way. The most richest man on Earth isn't going to appeal to somebody who doesn't abide by them rules, who are interested in other things. There are certain elements and aspects which, it doesn't necessarily apply as well, because you can't say... I used the grungy skater dude as an example, but let's say, for example, he never washed, his hygiene was rubbish, then that would be detrimental as far as his attraction is concerned, because, biologically speaking, it might be indicative of bad health. So, it wouldn't apply itself very well as far as procreation is concerned and the biological imperative to procreate. So I'm not saying absolutely every extreme is attractive, because that really isn't the case. You have to be realistic. But as far as your particular traits and behaviours and who you are as a person, you shouldn't think you need to change anything. Maybe you just need to accent who you are and put that more so out in the open. I'm going to leave that one there. That's a brief one, but I hope it gives you food for thought. Peace.